AG Tools Update 3.11. Now with this version release, there's 2027 support. So now it supports starting with Revit 2019 all the way to 27. And also under the hood, there's some big changes made of how this was made. So prior versions, each of these tools, they're actually separate add-in files. Now moving onwards, I consolidated everything into a single add-in. Basically, to show you what I'm talking about, if we look here, right, this is the Addins Manager, which was introduced in Revit 25. And you can see we have add areas, add lengths, donate, right, all these tools, which are right here, the total area, total length, etc. Now, moving onward with this release, it's consolidated. Now your Addins Manager is just going to show you AG tools. And one of the benefits is we could see the total load time. It says the entire toolbar loads under a second. Before, if you look here, it shows under a second for each one. So it might be the same speed. I'm going to guess it's a little bit faster. Long story short, why before this was done as separate tools, AG Tools is one of the first C# codes I was writing. And at the time, it was just the best way to achieve what I wanted with what I could do. So I wanted easily customizable toolbar by the user, and I wanted the ability for that user to be able to export that configuration, to be able to then roll it out to other workstations, and for the AT department to roll out different types of configurations. For example, at an architecture firm, you could have one version of the toolbar for architects, one for interior designers, and another for structural department. Benefits of this change, a good bit of baggage loss. I was able to remove workarounds to achieve what I needed before. Now we don't have to do that. Overall, it's a lot more stable. There's more error checks. And it also even checks for legacy versions if you have some files that were not able to be uninstalled that provided an additional tool. I'll go over more of that towards the end of this video, but another thing I did was update the structural steel lookup here. So now there's some glitches that were fixed. You can look up your different members here, and then here's the information for them. So if you switch to a different size, right, everything's here. Also, Google Maps, a couple bugs were fixed in it, so that works off if you go to project information and you have your project address filled out. Just to show you right here, if we click Google Maps, it's going to just bring you to that address. It just had a few bugs that were resolved. Now go into the tab settings over here. There it is. Quite a few changes happen here. Now you can enable, disable all the tools. You could still rename them, so I'll just show you how it works. So let's say we'll just call it Prestige WW. We'll call this one General Tools. That's the first panel name. And then let's just disable everything starting with non-plot all the way to here. We'll disable everything here. We'll click Apply. It says settings were saved successfully. Changes will take effect once Revit is restarted. We can also steal panels. So for example, if we go to our Structure tab, and maybe we want this foundation panel, and let's say we want to take all these buttons from the Addins tab and hide the Addins tab so it's all under AG Tools. Let's go back to our settings over here. We're going to click Steal Panels. There's no settings saved here, so then let's go ahead and go to Structure, Foundation. We'll add that panel. Then we'll go to Addins, and here we're just going to select everything. Now that's our configuration. It just shows you what we did. Basically shows all it's a tab name, then it shows you the panel. And if you hide all the panels on that tab, it will hide that tab. So then we're going to click Save Settings. They're saved. And let's go ahead and restart Revit. Now that Revit's open, let's just start a new project. Now we can see the tab name has changed. This says General Tools. Now we have our foundation. And here's everything from that Addins tab, and the Addins tab is hidden, right? It's no longer available. Now I want to go over some more settings really quick. We have the reset settings to default button that you could press. There's also the export settings button. So once you have this configuration over here, what you can do is you can export these settings and deploy them across other workstations, so they'll be set up the same way. Let's press that and see what happens. We're going to see this message here. It says settings exported successfully. And they're saved to your desktop in this folder over here. It's your username, and then it says Arthur AGT settings. And to deploy this on other workstations, by copying this file over here that it created to CAG Tools settings folder. So again, this stuff is going to be written inside the file that's exported. It's also included in the instructions with the download, which I'll go over. So let's go ahead and close this up. And here's that folder that it exported. So you're going to get a README text file. Tells you AG Tools settings export. To deploy on other workstations, just place the 0 settings folder into this directory. When prompted, just overwrite and replace all files. And the final path would be this right here. So then just to show you, let's go to C. You're going to see AG Tools here. And there's that settings folder. So basically everything you set up in your tab settings button, that's all stored in these files. So essentially, if we ever wanted to manually transfer this over, all you do in this export, you just select this, copy it, go to your different workstation, and just paste it into CAG Tools folder. When this pops up, you're going to replace the files in the destinations. So that's if you want to do this manually. Now, I did include instructions on how to automate the process. This is the download package that you would get if you go to letsbimtogether.com and then go to the AG Tools download. You can download it here. At the time of this recording, I still have not released this, so that's the older version, but you just click this and it would download. What you're going to find is this is the installer. There is the AG Tools All Versions Remover. So before you install this version, because it's so different than anything previous, you definitely need to uninstall any previous installation of AG Tools. You could do it manually using add or remove programs. So if you go here, it is a little bit slow just because I'm recording. It's an older workstation. So you can uninstall this by clicking this and then uninstall. I would just use this uninstaller. It will do that in the background as well, but it also manually just goes through and uninstalls every file that I noted from previous installs. Then you're going to find README file. This basically has general instructions for you and list of all the updates with each past release. Then silent install.txt. This is a batch script, but if you're an IT department and you want to automate this, not install this manually, use this through either PowerShell script or batch scripts, you can use something like this. Basically, it gives you instructions how it works. Anything with REM is a comment. And then you can read this, agree to the disclosure. All you have to do is rename the extension on this file from .txt to .bat. And then you just uncomment either this line or this line. Now here it says the commented line below will install AG Tools, displaying just the progress bar. So basically, if you install this just by double clicking this, You can accept the agreement, click next, and just move that way. Or for the IT department, you could just use a batch script. So let's say we want to install it just without showing any progress bar and no user input. We're going to back this out, so delete the comment line. And the flag is very silent. If we were to delete this comment line, the flag would be just silent. So now we're going to click close and save. And all we have to do is now click here and change the extension to .bat. So backspace 3 times and then BAT. Press yes. If you can't see your extensions, then all you have to do is go here, show, file name extensions. Can't see them. Then go view, show, file name extensions. So now you can see them. Prior to installing this, again, we have to uninstall previous versions. Obviously, we already have one installed here. So we're going to right-click this, run as administrator. And here's the universal uninstaller. Here it says this tool will remove all versions of AG Tools installed on your workstations. That includes all add-in files, DLLs, the AG Tools folder, and all the add or remove programs entries. Okay, so all you have to do is you press yes and enter. If you input anything else, it will just close out without doing anything. So let's type in yes. Here we could see it do some work. And it deleted 225 files and removed the add or remove programs. If you had multiple versions stacked on top of each other, it would uninstall everything. So now that this is uninstalled, just press enter to exit. And let's just double click this BAT file. Slightly installing. Now it installed, so AG Tools is here. So the next step to do is going to be to go to C-AG Tools. Then we could take our exported settings and just drag them over. And that's all we need. So now if we just fire up Revit, even though we uninstalled AG Tools, deleted all the settings, it would bring back the way we customized it. Now, you don't have to manually copy and paste AG Tools either. If you're using the silent installer, you can edit with Notepad. Right after this line, all you have to do is you can use another command that says to copy and paste your settings. So right here, as you see, this is on the network location. This is on the server. And I have my Revit Addins folder, AG Tools. All we need to do is we should just bring over the settings. I'm going to go here, copy them, paste them here. And then just at the end of this line, right after installing AG Tools, put a command to copy the settings folder to where AG Tools needs it to be. Very easy to do. You can Google how to do this or ask ChatGPT. It will not have a hard time doing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the updates. I kind of don't have enough time to spend making new tools for AG Tools, so I spent most of my free time that I had for it to kind of just listen to all the emails that I received regarding different bugs, and I believe I addressed everything I received, so thank you to everybody that sent stuff to me. And yeah, so it's been fun supporting this. If you find any bugs or you have any ideas, you can go here, letsbimtogether.com, go to the contact page, and just send me an email to hello@letsbimtogether.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.